David Cush, CEO and President of Virgin America. David, welcome to TechCrunch TV.
Thank you.
David, let me start you off with an easy one. Why do so many people hate their airlines?
Well, I think the key thing is the process is somewhat dehumanizing, in terms of fighting your way through the airport, getting on the airplane, finding a place for your bag, and then you've got this little bit of space where you basically have lost control, that you are at the mercy of the people around you and of course the crew. And that's not what people like. People like to be in control of their lives. So I think that's the big thing, is kind of the dehumanizing element of travel, and people then reflect that back on the airline. And we really haven't done ourselves any favor as an industry, because I think we've ignored our customers for a long time.
Well, we're at the Fast Company Innovation Uncensored event, and you just gave a very inspiring speech about how Virgin America is innovating. Before you get onto those innovations, what is it about airlines and innovation? Why do so many of them struggle to innovate?
Well, I think a big part is it's a complicated business. That there are, it's a highly technical business, and that in the end you've got a piece of metal flying through the air 6 miles above the surface of the earth, 500, 600 miles an hour, for as long as 14 hours. So that part, just making sure that part works, dealing with weather, mechanical issues, and then just the logistics of making sure that crews are there and everything else, and getting the people herded on the airplane. That part, I think, is so all-consuming for most airlines that the innovation falls to the side. They're so focused on blocking and tackling. So I think that's a big part of it, but I also think the cost pressures and the financial pressures have taken their toll also.
I know you distinguish between innovation in operations and innovation inside the cabin. And Virgin America, particularly from a technology, internet, network point of view, is innovating in a very exciting way inside the cabin. Tell me what you're doing.
I think there are a couple of things. I think probably what strikes me most is kind of the industrial design element of it. The fact that we took into account what the cabin looked like, what the lighting looked like, what the seat backs look like, so that you create a visually pleasing environment for people who are going to be on that airplane for 6 or 7 hours. You make the environment itself relaxing and pleasing to the eye. Then you go to the technology side. That Virgin is a very entertainment-focused company, a very technology-focused company, and so going in and putting in an interactive in-flight entertainment system that not only entertains you, but allows you to communicate with the crew in terms of food and drink and things like that. And then of course having internet and power plugs. It was really all about giving people scene control over that little bit of space that we give them. The ability to go in and empower them to control what their journey was going to be.
In your research, did you find that most people who travel want to be online while they're in the air?
We didn't do much research.
So you just tell the customer what they want?
Well, I think our intuition was that people want to be online on the ground. Why wouldn't they want to be online in the air? And I think, again, that gets to kind of the core guiding principles we had was give the people the ability to do what they do on the ground, give them that ability in the air. So again, it gets back to allowing people to tailor their travel experience to whatever they want.
I know you're doing some very entertaining innovation both on the ceiling and the floor of your aeroplanes.
Right.
What are you doing on that front?
Well, this is another thing where just kind of the guy sitting in a room came up with an interesting idea. But essentially, on our ceilings, we're looking at putting star fields on them. We're looking at making them GPS enabled so that they will be accurate rather than just dots on the line.
So when you look up, you'll actually be looking at a representation of the sky.
That's correct. The sky, given the position where you are. We're also looking at making our Google Maps more powerful. Right now they're pretty good. You can look out the window and zoom in on the map and see what you're flying over. But we're also looking at seeing if there's a way to give the people in the aisle and the middle seat the opportunity to see out the window, perhaps through a camera. So just lots of different ideas in terms of making the experience on our airplanes unique.
I know that I've often met very interesting people on airlines, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, Have you ever thought about building set social networks on flight so that people have better opportunities to meet one another?
Well, we are looking at that. You know, we have kind of a crude version of it right now in that we have seat-to-seat chat. It's a little difficult to use and probably is not community building more than just one-on-one chat. When we get the new system on, we should be at the end of 2012. It'll be internet enabled through the seat back. That will give us the opportunity to do some social networking and gaming, social gaming on the aircraft and potentially between aircraft. So that really opens up a lot of possibilities, and the imagination's the limit at that point.
You're not part of any of the large airline frequent flyer programs, are you?
That's correct. We've got an agreement with the other two Virgin Airlines, Virgin Australia and Virgin Atlantic, but none of the big carriers.
So are you building a different kind of loyalty with your customer? I know personally I don't travel on your airline, not because it isn't good. I know it's very good because I'm a United flyer and I'm wedded, for better or worse, to United. Do you see that the frequent flyer relationship will be usurped by a more intimate, direct relationship with the customer in future?
I think we're seeing some of that right now. This is anecdotal, but we do hear from a lot of top-tier United, American flyers, our primary two network competitors, saying that they're flying on us now because they know every flight will be good, rather than taking that 10% chance that they're going to get upgraded at the gate and have a good flight versus being stuck in coach and having not so pleasant of a flight. So I think that's certainly our biggest competitive obstacle, are these frequent flyer programs, and in particular the top tier, with Platinum and Executive Platinum. But I think we're chipping away at it also.
Why can't you just join one of these networks?
Well, they don't want us in.
Are they scared of you?
Well, I wouldn't say they're scared of us. They're big, powerful companies, but they know this is probably the biggest competitive advantage they have, is their frequent flyer program, and they use that as a weapon against us.
Final question, David. Your website is exceptional. How important do you believe an airline's website is in terms of a customer's first and often last experience relationship with the airline?
It's extremely important. When you look at our website, first of all, about 70% of our sales come from our website. So for our airline, it's extremely important from the revenue and business standpoint, but it's also how we communicate with our customers, in terms of if there's a delay, they can find it out there, just to understand what the experience, what experience they should be expecting. So it's extremely important. I think our website is good now. What I'll tell you is we're going to go through a major rework of it over the next 12 months and see if we can make it better.
Are you shifting, in website terms, more towards mobile devices?
Yeah, absolutely more toward mobile, but also, just in terms of, websites are still very much focused on keyboard and mouse. And the question is, given touch screens and where everything is going with how you interact with screens now, is there a different way to build a website? So I'm not talking just mobile, I'm talking overall. Even you look at, if you use the Lion operating system, that you can use your pad now as a way of interacting with the screen rather than using it as a traditional mouse. So I think that's one of the things we're thinking about is there a fundamentally different way of designing a website to take advantage of how people now interact with their devices?
Well, David Cush, President and CEO of Virgin America, I want to thank you for innovating and hope that you continue to innovate in the future to make flying a less irritating, more enjoyable experience. Thank you so much for appearing on TechCrunch TV.
Thanks. Great seeing you.